Well, the Vegapunk reveal is now official. We didn't see the actual Vegapunk as everyone pretty much expected. And for the people who did think that was Vegapunk, maybe you have some thinking to do. Because I saw some comments here and there saying, no, that's definitely Vegapunk. You guys read too much into this. We start off the chapter with the Straw Hats reacting to Vegapunk. Frankie's the first to speak, of course, because naturally he spent 2 years on Vegapunk's island. He says exactly that. He says, Vegapunk, you're like my role model. He tells him he was on his island for 2 years in Baltimore. Of course, we got Sanji on the side right there, simping over Vegapunk, or who we thought was Vegapunk. You know, lately, Sanji's been looking at a lot of good-looking people. Okay, we had Yamato, we had Black Maria, we have this quote-unquote Vegapunk. I can imagine Sanji when he sees Uta in the movie. Anyways, while Sanji's simping, Usopp is just amazed and awe as usual whenever he sees a big, gigantic robot. And he's like, I can't wait to show Luffy and Chopper. You just know if all three of them together right there, oh man, they have a hell of a time just looking at that gigantic robot. Then Robin drops the statement that we all been talking about these last 2 weeks while we wait for this new chapter. She says, just a moment, this is the first I've ever heard of Vegapunk being a woman, and she looks far too young. Vegapunk has been active for many years. And it's obvious, we've heard earlier in the series that Vegapunk is an old man, old and a man. Like, there was no way that this person was Vegapunk. And with the punk number 2, it just wasn't happening. To break it down as early of this chapter, this person says, naturally, who said this was the main Stella body? This is actually Vegapunk 2, Vegapunk Lilith. And this Vegapunk model is feisty. Immediately says, we're going to allow you to skedaddle if you just relinquish your valuables. Yo, she's just straight up trying to rob the Straw Hats right now. She even brings up all these other robotic creatures to surround the Straw Hats. But she don't know that the Straw Hats, man, come on, man. They ain't going to go down easy like that. She threatens to sink the Straw Hats with all these creatures surrounding them. But before all this, Nami thought that this was some kind of rescue. So a voice interrupts Lilith by the name of Shaka, and you can only assume this is the other Vegapunk model. Shaka had to let it be known to Lilith, like, hey, these guys are the Straw Hat Pirates, a newly dubbed Emperor crew, and they're not gonna just merely surrender to you. So while Usopp, Nami, and Brook are freaking out because of the sea beast that surrounds them, Zoro and Robin are ready for the action. Zoro has his hand on his swords. Robin's already in her pose, ready to use her devil fruit at any given time. They're just stone cold, deadlocked onto this Vegapunk. You would think, being the product of one of the smartest people in the One Piece world, you would know not to directly fuck with these guys right off the bat and keep aware of certain people and what they're about to do. At least Shaka knows, because Shaka points this out to Lilith, saying, don't you see how calm he is? He knows you're in range for him to end you in an instant. And the same goes for the devil child Nico Robin back there. And you know what? I gotta say, it feels good making Robin seem like a threat again, because for the longest of time, whenever it came to post-time skip for Robin, I felt like she was way more of a threat in pre-time skip whenever it came to the use of her devil fruit abilities. And then post-time skip happened, and that intimidation kind of dimmered down, at least to me. But now I like where this is going. Robin fans are eating good. We had that fight with Black Maria, and now they're putting some respect on her fucking name. They saying not to mess with her. Just ask Frankie and his jewels what happened last time Robin got involved. Here's something rather interesting now. So Zoro says to Vegapunk, there's something I want from you, so you better play nice, got it? What could Zoro possibly want from Vegapunk? Is it A, Zoro wants a device made by Vegapunk so he doesn't get lost anymore? Is it B, never-ending Saki? In all seriousness, though, I have no idea what Zoro's going to ask for, so comment down below if you have any clue. Now we cut to the logic of Vegapunk, Shaka. And Shaka says, no matter, bring them here. I have an interest in that crew. Okay, this next part of the chapter is probably going to destroy a couple theories for anybody who had theories about Bonney, specifically Bonney being from the Void Century. Her and Luffy get in a conversation, and Luffy says, you've been here before. Bonnie's like, yeah, when I was a kid, it was still a pretty run-of-the-mill lab at the time, though. And Luffy wants to know, how come you came back? Now, this is for the people who don't remember. Remember, way back then, Bonney had pointed out, saying, this is all his fault. We need to go to the New World and find them right now. Well, from the last chapter, we can pretty much assume that she was talking about Vegapunk, right? And then don't forget when she got really in her feelings when she heard that Kuma was a slave. Well, turns out Kuma's her fucking dad. She says Vegapunk's the one who turned my dad into a cyborg. Then she goes on to say it's not he's completely lost his sense of self. He doesn't even know who he is anymore. He's nothing but a living weapon now. And as a daughter, that must be pretty fucking tough. Bonney, I feel for you. I'm not gonna lie, I didn't see this coming. I somewhat bought into the theories more by fascination that Bonney was from the Void Century because of her devil fruit. It was fun to play around with at first, but now you think about it and you realize this can't be true because of Kuma's age. In One Piece, Kuma is listed at the age of 45 years old. If Bonney is actually the biological daughter of Kuma, then it can't be possible that she's from the Void Century. Wanna know what else this means for Bonney? It also confirms that Bonney is a princess. And if Bonnie's a princess and she's with the Straw Hats, then are we dealing with another storyline helping a princess? I hope that's not the case. However, if you forgot like I did, Kuma was once the ruler of Sorbet Kingdom. He was the king over there before he turned to Shishibukai. Now, I don't have to connect the dots for you because if Bonnie's actually the daughter of him, then naturally she's the princess of the kingdom. Anyways, as Bonney is telling them all this, they're climbing somewhere and they end up where Vegapunk's invention room, I guess. I mean, I don't want to say solely for the Vegapunk himself, but this is definitely a room where there's just a bunch of creations. Did you guys spot the SSG in this panel right here? Bonney also points out that she forgot to mention Sabo to Luffy. You'd think that she would want to tell that to Luffy right now, considering everything that's happened, but, you know, it is what it is. She says she'll spill the beans to him later, so it's all cool. Now, you know Luffy's gonna be fascinated as hell with all these cool inventions around him, so he launches into the air, and he launches to the biggest thing imaginable, of course, this big-looking dragon creature with 4 eyes and a big horn. He gets eaten again. He gets eaten, but not really, because this ends up being a hologram. If there's not one already, can there be a counter for One Piece all the times Luffy has gotten eaten in the series or potentially eaten? Because it never gets old for me. I know I said it was a hologram, and it is a hologram, but before anyone else even realizes that it's a hologram, they see some dessert, Luffy, Bonney, and Chopper, and they immediately jump right for it because, you know, they're gonna eat. They love that type of shit. Luffy loves eating. Bonney loves eating. It's literally in her name, the glutton Bonney. And Chopper, he loves sweet things, so they all jump for it, of course. I love this next part because when they do realize something is up, Luffy is pissed. He's like, what the hell is that? That ticks me off. For a second, I thought Luffy went in gear second, all pissed off, and after looking at it again, I just think that was the way Oda drew him. He's just angry. I don't think he's actually in gear second, pissed off. The only reason I thought of it like that is because I remember this one filler episode in Naruto where I think some imposter or clone or something like that ate Naruto's food and he got pissed off. And when he was in pissed off, he was in the Nine Tails. Yeah, that was a fun episode. Next up, they come to the greatest invention imaginable. Just imagine if we had this shit in our world right now. But before they can use it, we get the other Vegapunk that appears, and this one Luffy thinks is a hologram, so he goes up to hit it, and turns out, no, that's not a hologram, so she just whacks the fuck out of Luffy. Sends him flying to that greatest invention that I was telling you about, and I just noticed right now looking at it, there's labels on it. It says East, West, South, North. This machine gives you whatever food that you want, whether it's burgers, tacos, whatever, in an instant. Now, could it be East, West, South, and North because it comes from the different seas, like, you know, let's say hamburgers in One Piece and the West Blue, it's really popular. So you'll hit the West Blue for the popular meals. And then I'm thinking too much into this. I'm sorry. So this Vegapunk is really pissed off. She starts going on a rant saying it could turn raw ingredients into one of the 500 unique dishes in under a minute. It pisses her off. The island aircon is in the same damn boat. Its sensors can monitor living creatures, and it could tame the weather if they just had a bit more money. There are endless ideas, but not enough resources. This pisses her off so much, she ends up punching a hologram. At first, I thought this was just a joke, like a gag, that she's so crazy and angry at times that she can just defy any sort of logic, and she just punches this hologram. But no, it's also because of the invention of these photonic gloves that she has, and it makes it possible to physically interact with light. Why is that interesting? Well, who else is light in One Piece that could be a potential threat to people who don't have haki? Ding, 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 Kizaru. I want to say Oda's setting up a fight in the future, Frankie versus Kizaru, and I would love to see that. Why Frankie? Well, because we're on Vegapunk's island. He can learn so much more from Vegapunk. He's already the smart one in the crew. He already makes all these other inventions, so why not give it to him to go up against his admiral? Also, who else do we have in the crew? I don't see Nami going up against Kizaru. Zoro and Sanji both have haki. Luffy has haki as well, but I don't see him going up against Kizaru. I see Frankie doing it with these. Like, why else introduce them, right? Plus, Frankie's cool, okay? I think he needs another great fight, and what a great fight it would be against Kizaru. The last cool fight we had with Frankie was with Senor Pink, and that was a while ago. Then enter the other Vegapunk. This is Punk number 6, Punk Atlas. She introduces herself as Vegapunk, the scientific genius, and you can already see it on Bonnie's face. Like, what the hell is that? That's a lie. I know exactly how Vegapunk looks like, and you're not him. You're not that guy, pal. You're not that guy. Before we get anything more with that, we go right to a world government ship, and not just any world government ship. This is CP0. Finally, Rob Lucci on the panel with Kaku and Stussy. Yo, what about me, my boy? How you gonna forget about me just like that? Fuck, I didn't see you there. My bad. Yo, give it up. The most honorable member of CP0, the one who pulls the strings, Hattori, is also here. Yo, I ain't gonna lie, Hattori, they dripped you out nice. You look real good right now in that hat and that suit. You rocking it the best. We carry on with the conversation. Kaku's talking to Lucci, saying, just keep listening, Lucci. Vegapunk is technically still a single individual. This is how we know the world government is fucking snakes. We already knew that they were snakes, but this solidifies it. They start talking about a plan to kill Vegapunk once and for all. They want to assassinate him, but they had to bring up the other 6 Vegapunks that he has. It's nice to know the official number of how many other models there are that Vegapunk made. We'll start from 1. Punk 1, it's the Logic, Shaka. Punk 2, Evil, Lilith. Punk 3, Flare, Edison. Punk 4, Wisdom, Pythagoras. Punk 5, Wrath, Atlas. Punk 6, Desire, Yoki? Yoke? Don't flame me for that. By the way, this isn't the official Viz translation, so there is a note. Alice is listed number 5 here in the Raw, but her dress says 6. This will be resolved by the time Viz releases their translation, so just a heads up. Oda had to do this because he was a fan of Kishimoto, right? Tell me not. We have the 6 paths of Vegapunk here. I'm sorry, I had to. I saw this as a comment, and I thought it was hilarious. We got the 6 paths of Vegapunk, man. So Vegapunk's grand idea was to split up into 6 people, and then I'm guessing you have the main Vegapunk also, who has his body somewhere. Now, did he do this to himself just because, as an inventor, you want to make as many things as possible, so this is the quickest route to make multiple Vegapunks? Or did he make it because he's actually really, really fucking old? His body could barely move at times now, so he needs to preserve himself somewhere while his other punks go around doing things for him? I don't know. It just keeps getting more painful from here because as they're conversating, we see the seraphim of Kuma. And it's definitely a seraphim because obviously it has his face and we see the black wings just like we seen for the seraphim of Hancock. Poor Bonney. She's gonna run into this Kuma and she's gonna fucking lose it, man. Here's the part that I don't get though, right? Obviously CP0 side, they're deadly on their own. But you're gonna bring the weapon, something that Vegapunk himself created, the Seraphims, and try to use it against them. Something tells me that's not going to go so well. Vegapunk had to have had some kind of safety precaution, or if anyone's going to know how to take it out and defeat it, it's going to be Vegapunk. So we might find out a weakness that Vegapunk points out to the Straw Hats or just says in general. And Rob Lucci makes a good fucking point. He says, so we're meant to kill the single most useful man in the world? Man, I say again, these motherfuckers are snake. Vegapunk worked his ass off all these years doing all these things for the world government, only for the world government to plot his assassination? That's some asshole shit right there, world government. You're on some Spondum level thinking. Stussy says someone with instincts like yours should know better than to question these things. You know, they're all about just following orders. Even Kaku agrees and says, don't get us in any hot water, Lucci. With that, this ends the chapter. I know you guys are fucking excited because Rob Lucci is on his way to where the Straw Hats are at right now. And we may potentially see Lucci versus Luffy, even if it's briefly, part 2. I saw a couple people saying that if Lucci does fight Luffy again, he's getting folded immediately. I hope he has something up his sleeve because I need to see something. I need to see a great battle. It was one of the best battles in One Piece, in my opinion. And just to get a part 2 of these two guys fighting in current One Piece is something I can't even imagine right now. We might be in for a treat, guys. I don't know. At the same time, we might get Luffy giving Lucci the Bellamy treatment. He might just have to one-shot Lucci, but I'm not gonna lie. If Lucci's in CP0, I'm hoping that the chances are that he's not gonna be so easy to take out. He's definitely got something up his sleeve. He increased his hockey, whatever the case may be. He has to put up a good fight. Before I forget and end this video, one of the Vegapunks right here, this one, he has a Daft Punk helmet, and that's really cool. But why do you think now the world government is striking against Vegapunk and willing to take him out once and for all? Like, obviously, Vegapunk knows too much for the world government, but why now? Is it because they have the Seraphims? Lucci even wonders if this has something to do with the recent Luluja incident that they're taking him out, but I don't know, man. I saw a comment on Reddit that might explain why the world government wants his head now. It says this: after Greenbow reported back, the world government probably realized that Vegapunk had lied about the artificial devil fruit and Punk Hazard being a failure, because he ran into Momonosuke, of course. The world government probably wants him dead now to stop him from possibly making more or passing on his research to the world government's enemies. I also got this one from Reddit. This world shall know science. Yo, the memes are gonna be great for this. I love it. If you guys enjoyed the video, make sure you like and sub. I would really appreciate it. Thank you guys for watching. I'm gonna see you guys on the next one.